Good. My microphone.
I think it was.
Good morning, Singapore. It's The Big Show with Glenn, Angel, FD, and Shaun. We are also live on The Big Show TV, which is our Facebook page, 1FM 91.3. Our guest for this morning is the one, the only, Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today, Jerry?
I am okay. I think so.
Your weekend was good? Or were you
The
working?
weekend was busy, but it was fulfilling, yes.
Oh, that's good. That's
Don't
always
you,
good.
Don't you ever take a day off?
I do in pockets. Not a day, but pockets.
Oh, that's not taking a day off. That's taking a break.
Exactly.
How do you
But I
manage?
enjoy what I'm doing, so that's good.
Have you ever taken a few days off, like for a staycation with your family or anything of late? Since
During the whole pandemic, not yet.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes,
Do it.
very naughty, but yep.
Well, she's not burned out, so she seems like she's fine.
I've got fantastic, friends, family, and there was a dip, but I came out nicely. They supported me, and we floated, and we cruised along, so that was good.
There you go. Good support system.
Okay.
Good support system.
All right, from here, I'm just going to remain silent. Because
Okay.
I think that's what we're talking about today with Dr. Geraldine Tan.
No,
Silence.
you cannot.
No?
You cannot remain silent. We need to talk about silence so that people can sit with silence comfortably.
But isn't
Okay.
that always the problem? To talk or not to talk, when to talk and when to shut up?
I know, right? It's like, why, when? I don't know. I actually sometimes, to talk is an art. So I really respect all of you DJs. It's like you know what to talk about, when to say, what the right words are. It's amazing. And you need to give us all lessons very soon.
But sometimes we are also, asked to, not say too much.
Yeah.
If not,
And sometimes we are at a loss of words as well. It doesn't always come easily. We do think about what we're going to say, make sure that we say it correctly. But yeah, I guess for us at radio, we really have to think about what we say before we actually say it, which may not necessarily be when we're in person off air.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, especially these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially now. It's so
Everyone's so
difficult now.
sensitive. Yeah.
So, this is very relevant then. You talking about silence and whether it's okay or when we should be silent. How did this whole thing come about? I mean, why did you pick this topic today, Jerry?
I was having a session and with a client, and the client has depression, and we were bantering about to talk, not to talk, silence, but I don't like silence, and we went on for an entire hour about it. So I thought it was very relevant for many of us, because one of the things in psychology, and when we are taught as psychologists, right, is to be comfortable with silence. And you cannot imagine how many people are uncomfortable with silence, and the silence have so many different meanings for each one of us. But when we do our sessions, sometimes we have to be silent. And there are sessions, or there are clients that I sit with them for 3-4 sessions in total silence.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Because they just need to feel like someone's next to them. Is that what it is? Or
It could be a variety of things. It could be that a teen comes in and the teen is very resistant. So it is a power play.
I see.
okay. Right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Or it could be someone that is grieving and just needs that silence, just needs that space.
Okay. Okay.
But then, Jerry, even in a relationship, you get this, right? Where sometimes, especially with two people who are working, you come home from work and someone starts to talk. They don't need you to comment. They don't need you to try and solve their problem. They just need someone to talk to. They don't need a reaction from you.
Yes. Yes. So we have the 10 types of silence, and you can see which one it belongs to.
Wow. Okay. So let's talk about that on
Sounds
the
good.
Big Show TV. That'll be fun.
All right. Meantime, here's Snap with the power on 1FM 91.3. Good morning, Singapore. All right. Why don't we do 5 and then we go on air and we can tell the radio listeners what the 5 are. And then Big Show TV 5 again and then go back on air.
And back on air. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so first 5, Jerry.
Why do you look so naughty? But
Yeah,
Why do
he
you look
always
so
looks like that.
naughty?
Yeah.
lah, you're always naughty.
okay, I'll go with the first one, which is silence is power. Since Joel actually wrote on the Facebook last night, and he was talking about, the wife giving him the silent treatment. Yeah. I assume that I can say it since he put it on my public Facebook.
Yes, you can. It's there.
Sorry, Joel. Yeah. So silence is power. So silence sometimes is used to thumb somebody down, to put someone in place. I think the millennials like to say this word, ghosting. I think it's like a silence
Ghosting.
of sort. Of sorts, right? Because you don't reply someone and you ghost someone on text.
Yeah, it's rejection is basically that.
We learnt it from Shaun, actually. Shaun brought it up sometime back.
Yeah,
Ghosting.
Because I've been ghosted, so
Ghosted. Yeah?
Silence is power. So what other power play do we have? So earlier I spoke about the teens, or so those clients that are dragged in and they don't want to talk, and they kind of challenge you, who's going to talk first. So that's also being powerful. Silence is chaos. That's the second one.
Wow.
Chaos.
Chaos.
How?
Because I would use one of the examples of an ADHD child, and he describes it very well. So something happened in school, and it was him and another friend, and they were asked to the in front of the teacher or in front of the principal, and they were told, "Please tell me the story." It was just, "Please tell me the story." The teacher wasn't scolding, nothing, and he could not. So the other person gave his version, and he got punished. So by the time he came to me, he said, "But I couldn't talk." I said, "What happened in front of the teacher?"
Yeah.
He said, "My mind is just so jumbled up.
Okay.
Something happened and he didn't have time to process."
So it's chaotic in the mind, but quiet,
Chaotic in the mind.
orally
and-
quiet.
Yes, orally quiet and chaos. So the silence is very chaotic for him because he wants to talk, he can't talk. He wants to talk, but he can't talk. It also happens with a lot of ADHD children where sequencing is quite difficult for them. So everything becomes a mess.
Wow. Okay.
So if we are not aware, then we take their silence as them rebelling. But actually, they're not rebelling. They're not trying to be naughty. They're trying to tell us, "My mind is chaotic. Give me some time." But they cannot tell us.
So not quick thinking almost, right? Is that what it is?
It's messy. It's
Not
very,
not
very
being
messy.
able to prioritize which should be said first, and right. Okay.
Correct. Silence is communication.
This is number what already?
3.
Number 3. Okay.
Silence is communication, or the lack of communication. Yep. So this one is quite straightforward. So we see that in many, many relationships when we don't articulate, or we don't share, and the silence creates a lot of misunderstanding.
So that's the silent treatment coming in, right? Kind of.
No, silence as a silent treatment is power. I have power over you. The other one is a lot of conflicts, a lot of misunderstanding because you stay silent.
Because you have issues and you don't talk about them.
Yeah. If you
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we should just make it fun, It's like while, two people are not talking, you just start signing.
Signing.
You know,
Signing?
like
Sign language?
Yeah. Like maybe play charades. Maybe not signing because if you're not trained in signing, then how can you?
It will
sign,
make no
right?
sense. Yeah.
But play charades as you guys give each other the cold treatment, the silent treatment. How about that? Maybe that'll break the silence.
You know what? You should do a little clip and show us how to do it.
Yeah.
I was actually giving you an idea, Jerry.
She
Maybe-
just threw it. She just threw it right back to you.
Back to you, Glenn.
Because I was thinking like I'm giving you an idea, Jerry. The next time you deal with clients who don't want to talk to you, you should
And
just
she's like, "Great idea, Glenn. Show us how it's done."
No, but it is an idea. It is an idea. I think those doing psychodrama would pick that tip up very well, and probably we'll see something else coming out from it. Okay, number 4, silence is deafening.
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 So this one is interesting because for many of the clients with depression, silence is actually very deafening.
It's painful.
Yeah, especially at night. Where they will tell you the night is so difficult.
Yeah.
But they'll tell you the night is quiet. And you go like, what's all these conflicting sort of thoughts that are going through your head, right? But in the silence of the night, they hear a lot of their thoughts. And
Yes.
their thoughts are very negative.
Yep. Just like last night, 3:15 a.m. I woke up with like negative thoughts, feeling depressed and all that,
Because Liverpool lost.
Manchester United.
Because
That's
Manchester
true. I mean,
United
yeah.
lost.
Because I'm wondering why are we taking such a long time
Long
to
time.
fire the manager.
First world problems. It's like Glenn's football is keeping him awake.
I'm constantly checking my phone, Every half
my
an hour, I'm
gosh.
checking my phone. My friends are
Wow.
also awake. My friend only just went to sleep this morning at like 2
10
hours ago. But everyone's updating each other on who's going to come in and take over the club.
Hardcore fanatics.
Okay, wait, go back on air. Stand by.
Pink with Just Like a Pill right here on The Big Show, 1FM 91.3. Jerry, can you, prescribe like some pills to take if I'm feeling a bit depressed because of our major defeat, Man United losing to Liverpool over the weekend? I think I need a pill of some
No,
sort.
you don't. You need half a bottle of gin.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I tried that. Sorry, I'm just kidding. Jerry, good morning. We are speaking to Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room, and this morning we're talking about the different types of silence.
Yeah. So Dr. Jerry has 10 types of silence. We've gone through 4 on the Big Show TV. Power, chaos, communication or the lack of communication, and deafening silence. So you're about to introduce us to the 5th type of silence.
So the silence is respect.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when we stay silent, so we know that when you watch soccer and there is a 1 minute of silence.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we know the whole stadium just is quiet.
Quiet.
Right?
Yeah.
We are silent when we go to a place of respect. We don't make a lot of noise. So, being silent is also a sign of respect. So, which is why, I'm not sure in all the other cultures, but I know like in the Chinese culture, the little ones are supposed to stay silent in the presence of elders.
Be seen and not heard.
Yep. So it is actually a sign of respect for the elders.
Okay, Jerry, for the benefit of the radio listener, can you just go through the first 4 very quickly?
Yes. So silence is power. In Joel did it, he highlighted the silent treatment of his wife.
From his wife, right?
Oh, dear.
Silence is chaos, where if we take an ADHD mind, they're very, it might be very chaotic. They might not be able to tell this story on the spot. Silence is communication or the lack of communication that that creates a lot of conflicts later on.
So that's different from the silent treatment, right? This
Yes.
is not being able to communicate properly or not saying what's bothering you.
Yes, or not saying what's bothering you. That's
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Silence
Okay.
is deafening, and we were talking about, depression and all the noise that comes out in your head when we think it is silence, but actually it is not silent at all. Silence is respect.
Okay.
Number 6, silence is awkward.
Awkward. Wow. Okay.
Awkward silence. But this is very interesting. So I always question, is it not having the right words? Because a lot of people say, I don't know the right words. I feel very paiseh, or I feel very embarrassed.
Yeah.
But maybe silence is just silence. It's okay to be silent, right? But perceiving that you need to talk, that's creating the awkwardness. So that self-talk of I need to talk.
Fill up the time.
Yeah. And pushing yourself to talk, right? Yeah.
I think-
That is
I think this is a couple, thing, and I just want to encourage all couples out there, to do away with this whole silent treatment, because it does,
does
no
nothing.
one any good.
No,
because the
it
moment, for
doesn't.
example, one side kind of engages or doesn't engage, okay, and gives the other the silent treatment, what happens is, that person doesn't feel good. Then that person feels angry. And then, it does nothing, for,
things
for the
start to
situation.
fester. Yeah.
Exactly. And then things from the past come about, when eventually you do start talking to each other, it's a huge argument,
Yeah.
so why, right? It's
A lot
better
of
to
blame.
it's better to just work things out, right, Jerry? I don't mean to take your job or to do your job,
you
but
got stuck right at number 1. I wonder why.
yeah, because we're going back, on the Big Show TV in a while. That's why. Yes, FD.
I think I just want to follow up on Glenn's thing, and something that couples need to understand. Tell me if I'm right or wrong, Jerry. That silent treatment can become habitual. Every time you have a problem, you just shut up.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
I have a problem with you. You did this wrong. I'm just going to keep quiet. It becomes habitual. It becomes your way of dealing with a problem.
Yeah.
And
Am I
living
right?
as well. And your way
frustrating.
of living. Yeah.
After you're absolutely right, because in couple work that we do a lot, and we get that a lot with the men actually, because nothing they do is right, nothing they say is right, so they just keep quiet, and
Yeah.
they live like that for many years, because
Yeah.
they go, oh, even if I say anything, it's going to be wrong, so I just shut up and
Yeah.
not say anything.
You see this more in the men than the women.
Yeah,
because-
so they articulate that when they're in the,
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
show.
the men don't want to what do you call irritate the women. You see,
Yeah.
But
Because
equally, right? I mean, equally for women
But-
not wanting to irritate
but
the
I think
husband as well.
I think there are some women who are a little bit more sensitive. So you got to be very careful what you say. If not, it's just going to trigger something
reaction.
in them, right? So I think some men are so afraid that they might trigger a
that,
reaction
Yeah.
from their other halves, so they just keep quiet to avoid any trouble, and that's not healthy in the long run.
I think
No.
what happens with the men is they keep quiet and they don't do anything else. But the women, they keep quiet, but they totter around the house. They do a lot of other, behaviors, or they would, continue with their household tasks. Yeah. So, well, they both genders, approach silence differently.
Okay.
Okay, we continue to talk to Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room on the Big Show TV, which is our Facebook page, 1FM 91.3. Meantime, here's Shaun Mendes with Mercy on 1FM 91.3.
Okay, dokes.
Okay. So we have number 6 was
7.
awkward. What's number 7?
Number 7, you would like this. Silence is caring.
Oh.
Yeah, so we talked about like the power, we talked about the awkwardness, but now silence is caring. So it's just being present, So
Okay.
in that quiet, sometimes it is the most comfortable and peaceful space shared between two people. And that's okay.
So this is what you sometimes go through your sessions where it's just sitting there and not speaking.
Yeah, especially if they're grieving.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
words needed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you say to soothe or to provide that balm, right? So
True.
we just be silent because that's more than enough sometimes.
Okay.
That's very true.
All right. Number 8.
Silence is avoidance.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes, I don't want to talk about it. Don't ask me anymore. Can you just please shut up?
Yeah.
Or it
Yeah.
can be trauma. Sometimes one of the young men that I see, for the longest time he could not speak of something, and I don't know why. So he had selective mutism, but now he's chatting a lot more. I think what really helped him was I was asking all the wrong questions, I think, but when the RV case came up, so I simply asked him to share, about how he felt. Then he shared how he was so severely bullied
Okay.
Oh, right.
and went through something almost similar.
I think for those people who have forgotten, RV is the whole River Valley
the murder.
school
case.
incident.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for him, there was a lot of avoidance, a lot of I don't want to go there. I hope and pray that you never touch that topic. And when he finally spoke about it, it was, I mean, he's not a huge conversationalist, so he's not chatty, but he started to speak a lot more.
Was he a teen? Was he young? Fairly young?
So early 20s.
Okay.
Yes. And then number 9, silence is listening. And we did that with the honest cookies.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
I have a few more now. I have a few more here.
Yeah, which we still haven't got any of, but it's okay. Glenn's eaten them all.
No. I
Keeping them from you. For you.
From right?
Yeah, that's a lot.
want to break a few later.
We'll break a few.
Yes, so active listening. So when we listen with our eyes, our ears, and our hearts. And silence is thinking. That's the last one. Number 10, silence is thinking. And it's time for reflection. It's time for, pondering, but not overthinking. So we need to be silent.
What about the other silence? You didn't cover this silence where, a couple who are together, let's say out for dinner and all that, and both couples are on their phones.
Oh,
That kind of
That's
silence.
avoidance. That's avoidance.
Disrespectful silence.
Actually, sometimes for some couples, they don't feel as disrespectful.
Yeah.
They don't feel like they're doing anything
Because they're
wrong,
both on it. Yeah. It's awful. I've seen them go through whole
It's
dinners
awful
and
for
they're
us to look at them like that, but it is absolutely fine
Yeah.
with them.
with them, yeah.
Yeah.
that is not silence because they're very busy with their phones. They are very noisy with their phones. So in their mind, it is not silent at all.
Yeah.
Or some-
And there's no lack of communication for them at all. It's just what they like
No.
doing.
So,
Jerry, where do I put this? I've been listening to you, and there are 2 silences that I can't put in your list of 10. Silence because I fear being judged.
That's what we said just now, right?
Where does that go?
so the silence, right?
Judged by who, though?
Is that the communication?
By society, I'm silent.
Okay.
I because people will judge me.
Oh, okay.
So that's when they are silent, right?
Yeah.
So it could be avoidance. It could be a lot of thinking, but that's not silent at all because the brain is
Still
actually
working.
very
It's still
noisy.
So noisy.
So actually, if you look at silence and what we discussed, right?
Yeah.
Nothing is silent.
Yeah, nothing is.
Everything has a meaning and everything has noise in it.
Yeah.
So if I'm thinking I'm going to be judged, or how is that person going to perceive me? I'm silent. My brain is
Brain
not
is
silent. You know, I'm hearing a lot of chatter in my ear. So that is a lot of times how people with anxiety, depression, it escalates in the silence of their minds. Yeah, and it just plays out and amplifies in their ears and their head.
Okay. Is that why you don't ask questions during meetings, FD?
No. because to me, one of the most important silences is peace. It is just sitting there, and I don't know whether you can. I'm sure Jerry will understand this. Sitting there and just being.
I was going to say silence is internal as well, right?
it's
that
just
would be your meditation.
Being.
Yeah.
It's nothing more than just being.
I think this comes with age, FD. I don't mean to say this because of... No. I'm saying it because of myself as well. I feel like I was a lot noisier when I was younger.
Yeah.
These days, I'm very silent. You know, even during meetings as well, you know.
He's absolutely right. I never felt this silence of being when I was young.
Yeah, when you
I think you're
when I
more
was younger,
content as you
shut
grow
me
older,
up.
maybe. I don't know. Is it being more content as you get older?
I feel like
you acquire more knowledge, you acquire more
You feel like you don't
understanding.
need to say so much to
No.
have yourself heard or have yourself understood. It doesn't really matter to others.
Yeah.
or you feel
More
like if
to
you,
you.
even
Well, I
if
don't
you
know whether
say,
it doesn't matter to others. It doesn't matter
Matter
to
to
me.
yourself, yeah. You don't care what other people think, and that's why
Yeah.
you feel like you don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
Well, they say a wise man listens, right?
There you go. We're all wise. There you go. We'll all just shut up from now on.
Yeah. Just like these days when my wife says I love you, I'll just go like, show me.
Oh,
That's it. 2 words. That's it.
Let me tell you, that
No
doesn't
need to
change
talk
when
so
you
much.
reach 65 either.
okay, then we go to traffic.
Good morning, Singapore. You're tuned in to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today and every Tuesday is Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room. Good morning once again, Jerry.
Good morning.
good morning, Dr. Jerry. So today, Dr. Jerry, we're talking about the 10 different types of silence. And on The Big Show TV, you picked up with caring, avoidance, listening, as well as thinking. Can you run us through those 4 again, please?
I love it. Every time Angel would just write everything.
Everything down, yeah.
Yeah, I know. So old-fashioned, right? You're the book. You know, she's like jotting things down.
Today, no book. I'm using my computer, but same
Oh,
thing.
but you know what? There are a lot. Actually, there are many ladies, right, who actually carry what do you call those things? Diaries? No,
A notebook. A notebook. It's a notebook. Yeah.
and they still
Journal,
actually
yeah.
write.
Yeah.
You know why?
And I don't understand that.
I remember
Okay.
more.
Let me
when I
explain
write.
to you. It's been scientifically proven. If you write something down, your chances of remembering it are higher.
Yes, they
no,
are.
La, that's
Yes,
not
they
true.
are. They are.
Scientifically
I type
proven.
things
right?
out,
It
I
is.
can still remember.
No, you know that sometimes when I'm trying to recall stuff that I've written down, I can actually still visualize my pen to paper and
yes.
what and how I wrote the words.
But you guys are Android users. Don't you guys have like some kind of pen?
No.
that
Stylus, a stylus.
Yeah,
No
correct. That's what
stylus,
it's called,
no.
a stylus.
Don't you like Apple users also have styluses if you
No,
wanted to?
we don't.
We have the Apple Pencil.
Has a
Wait,
Wait,
stylus.
but do we have something like that?
We have
Back
it.
to
Yeah,
silence.
you do.
It's called Apple Pencil.
Okay, okay.
We
hello.
have an Apple Pencil. There's such a
Pencil.
okay.
$99.
No, silence.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. We have an Apple Pencil.
We have it here. $99.
First time I'm hearing about it.
There
Sorry.
you go.
Yeah. Okay, Jerry. Go ahead. You are at number 5 now. Or?
6.
Six.
I think.
Okay. Yeah.
No, 7. Carry.
7.
I
Okay.
have to
I thought finish
repeat
already.
everything, right?
Yeah,
Oh, wait.
from caring,
Just
from
caring,
caring.
just caring.
That's what I
Okay.
meant.
Silence is caring, so being present, and we can care for each other now by just being a little bit silent, pen, Android or otherwise. Silence is avoidance. Sometimes we see that in people that don't want to talk about certain topics. The more severe one would be those with trauma. Sometimes it takes a lot from them to talk about it. So silence is avoidance. Silence is listening. So active listening. Silence is thinking. like the wise man that thinks and not speaks. I've got a bonus one actually. So
Oh,
okay.
Dylan is on with us.
Yes.
Silence is trouble. I don't mean it's trouble.
Yes, that's what she means.
He just called you trouble,
She
Julian.
said,
You trouble, Julian.
She's talking bad
I
about
know,
you just
man.
now.
I know.
No. But parents would really identify with this.
Oh, yes.
You know, when you hear a lot of like fighting and the Lego being thrown everywhere,
And then all goes quiet.
and then you suddenly go, okay, I think it's time to check on them. You know, what naughty things are they going to do now?
Did
Yeah.
someone
like a-
fall
sounds like a
over
daily-
and faint?
Sounds like a daily affair for me, man.
I know it. That's why I wanted to keep the bonus until you came on. You would definitely resonate with that. Yeah, so silence is trouble sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Any last
Silence
words?
is golden, golden. So you know, I mean, with
I
that
can
song,
never understand why is it golden. but
exactly.
okay.
So I think
It is.
meaning it's good, right?
Yes, because silence in your mind is so rare that
It's
if you
very
ever
hard to
get
achieve.
it,
Yeah.
it's gold. It's gold
Yeah.
to just sit there with no cares, no worries. You know,
And zero
it's-
thoughts,
Zero
right?
thoughts.
Nothing running around in your mind.
God.
Everything's at
Just-
peace.
I
It's
remember
golden.
this sign, silence is golden, everywhere in my primary school.
In the libraries.
yeah.
St. Stephen's School. You know, down the stairwell, you see a sign down there, silence is golden.
It's basically their
In the
polite way of saying shut,
Shut
up.
up. Because kids are so noisy, right?
Okay, quick one for those that want to deal with someone in depression. Check in with them, be with them. So we pick up on silence is caring, silence is listening for them, just being there with them. And I want to end with another part of silence, right? By one of the geniuses, which is Albert Einstein. The monotony and the solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. So if you want your children to be creative, or if you want to be creative, let's follow FD and stay silent.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to
Children, keep quiet.
I'm not going to stay silent right now. I'm just going to ask you something, Jerry. Can I see you? I need to see you. I'm so
never give up.
Years,
Yeah.
you're still at it.
yeah, but
Oh
I'm
my God.
At least he's consistent.
yeah. I mean, I'm depressed. I'm more depressed now than ever, especially after this weekend. You know, so maybe 1 or 2 sessions. Come on, Jerry.
We'll go for cooking sessions.
Oh, there you go.
Okay,
I mean, she doesn't
better.
charge you for the advice. You should take it.
Maybe
right.
that'll help. Okay, Jerry, thank you so much for joining us.
No worries.
Have a wonderful week ahead.
Bye, Jerry.
See
you, Jerry.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Julian.
See you.